Hello, 8th grade science students. We're going to take a look at a couple more complicated Bohr model atom diagrams. We're going to start with chlorine. So step one on any of these diagrams is to figure out the number of neutrons, protons, and electrons first. If we zoom in on the chlorine tile, we can see that it has 17 protons. 35 is the mass number. That means it's got 18 neutrons. And that means since the electrons and the protons will match, we'll also have 17 electrons. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Bohr model diagram. So first, just so we're aware, the very first thing we need to do is fill in the protons, neutrons in the nucleus. So like we said, there are 17 protons. There are 18 neutrons. And they're going to be 17 protons. From the periodic table, we can see there's 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 in the second shell, and we're going to start filling in chlorine's third shell. So 2 in the first shell, that takes care of 2 of the electrons. 1, 2. 8 in the second shell. Now, the way we do this is we put them solo as long as we can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have to pair them up because we have more than half of the electrons that this shell can hold. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. This gets us all the way up to 10 electrons. We're going to need one more shell because we have filled the second shell. And this shell is going to have 7 electrons to get us up to this 17 total electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we're up to 14, 15, 16, 17. So calciums, chlorines, it skipped to a different page for some reason. So chlorine's atom diagram looks like this. 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, 7 electrons in the third shell to make our complete diagram. Now let's look at calcium and go a little bit faster because we're a little short on time here. So calcium has an atomic mass of 40 and an atomic number of 20. That means we have 20 protons this time in the nucleus. We have 20 neutrons in the nucleus. And we have 20 protons we have to account for. 20 electrons we have to account for. In the very, very first shell, there will be 2. So 1, 2. In the second shell, it's going to be totally full because it's in that fourth row. So I'm just going to go ahead and pair these up automatically. This gets us all the way up to 10 electrons. Notice we're going to have more. 8 more would give us 18. So the third shell, also full. So we're going to pair those up as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Calcium, though, has that fourth shell, so we're actually going to draw that as well. And it has 20, so we need to put 2 more electrons in this one, and they will not be paired up because we don't have that full octet, nor do we even have 5. So there's calcium's very large Bohr model diagram. So it's a Bohr model because we're just showing the individual hoops of electrons. We know in reality, and we'll talk more about this later, that they're sort of bouncing around in the current model, which is electron clouds. We'll talk more about that later on. But for now, this gives you an idea of how to draw those Bohr model diagrams from scratch. The worksheet does, I think, boron through calcium. So some of them I've already shown you. Some of them you're going to figure out on your own. And I'll be posting a key later on so you can check your answers and see how you did. Have a wonderful day.